managed to retain the Chief Minister's chair in a stinging blow to Uddhav Thackeray after losing his post in party. Today, he lost his plea to be reinstated by the Supreme Court. Ironically, he won the battle in court against his adversaries but lost the war to reclaim the throne. Uddhav's biggest misstep, retrospectively, was resigning as the Chief Minister instead of facing the floor test. However, the apex court, in a stinging criticism, pulled up the then governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari for quote-unquote entering the political arena and erroneously ordering a floor test over an inter-party tussle. Today, Chief Justice of India observed that courts cannot reinstate a chief minister when he has voluntarily resigned. Listen in.
This argument does not account for the fact that Mr. Thackeray did not face the floor test on 30 June 2022 and submitted his resignation. This court cannot quash a resignation that has been submitted voluntarily. Had Mr. Thackeray refrained from resigning from the post of the Chief Minister, this court could have considered the grant of the remedy of reinstating the government headed by him. The order of this court dated 29 June 2022 held that the outcome of the trust vote to be conducted on 30 June 2022 shall be subject to the final outcome of this batch of petitions. Since the trust vote was not held, the question of it being subject to the final outcome of these petitions does not, therefore, arise.
But despite this, Uddhav Thackeray has claimed that Eknath Shinde and his government have lost the right to remain in power. He's also said that he is morally vindicated, and if there is any morality left in modern day politics, the government of Maharashtra right now should step down.
ठीक है, कानूनी तौर पर मैंने इस्तीफा दिया, शायद गलत हो सकता है, लेकिन नैतिकता अगर देखें तो जिन लोगों को मेरे पिताजी ने, मेरे पार्टी ने सब कुछ दिया, वो लोग उठकर मेरे ऊपर उंगलियां उठाएं, तो उनके लिए मैं मेरा विश्वास या अविश्वास क्यों जताने की कोशिश करूं? तो ऐसे लोगों को अधिकार ही नहीं है मुझे सवाल पूछने का। जिन लोगों ने मेरे पार्टी से सब कुछ लिया और गद्दारी की, तो गद्दार लोग मेरे ऊपर अविश्वास लाए और उसका मैं सामना करूं, कैसे हो सकता है? ये तो गद्दार लोग हैं। आज तो कोर्ट ने कहा, और मतलब कोर्ट ने गद्दार नहीं कहा, लेकिन ये सारी बातें हैं। आज तो मतलब महाराष्ट्र में आप सरकार ही नहीं है। नैतिकता तो अभी जैसे मैंने नैतिकता का पालन किया, तो अगर इस मुख्यमंत्री में जरा भी कोई नैतिकता होगी तो मुख्यमंत्री और उप मुख्यमंत्री ने इस्तीफा देना चाहिए, जैसे मैंने दिया।
Number one, the whip by the so-called Shinde faction was held to be illegal. Number two, the recognition of that illegal whip by the speaker was itself illegal. Thirdly, the speaker's recognition of the entire Shinde faction was held to be illegal. And finally, friends, the entire governor's decision has been declared illegal on the ground that it lacks relevant objective material.
But let's not forget that both the then governor and speaker came in for sharp criticism from the Supreme Court. This is what Uddhav claims is his moral victory. After this scathing observation, Times Now spoke to the then governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari, who says that he still thinks his decision is right.
राज्यपाल पद से मुक्त हो चुका हूँ, 3 महीने हो चुके हैं, और मैं राजनीतिक मसलों से अपने को बहुत दूर रखता हूँ, और जो मसला सुप्रीम कोर्ट में था, उस मसले पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अपना निर्णय दे दिया है। उस निर्णय पर जो कानूनविद हैं वही अपनी राय व्यक्त करेंगे। मुझे नहीं लगता कि मैं, चूंकि कानून का विद्यार्थी हूँ नहीं, मैं केवल संसदीय परंपराएं जानता हूँ और विधायी परंपराएं जानता हूँ। उस हिसाब से मैंने जिस समय जो भी कदम लिए सोच समझ के लिए, और जब किसी का इस्तीफा मेरे पास आ गया तो मैं क्या कहता, तुम मत दो इस्तीफा।
Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, joins us along with political analyst Varun Singh, Sanjay Gupta, leader of the Shiv Sena, Pankaj Sharma, political analyst. Sanju Verma, on the grounds of morality, should the Shinde-Fadnavis government resign?
Padmaja, I just have this to say. Forget about the fact, and I'm not disputing that. I've tweeted about it, that the ex-governor, Mr. Koshyari, has come in for scathing criticism from the Supreme Court. Be that as it may, the operative and the most important part of the judgment is this: when the CJI, Mr. Chandrachud, said status quo ante cannot be restored as Mr. Thackeray did not face the floor test and tendered his resignation. Hence, the governor was justified in administering oath to Mr. Shinde with the support of the largest party, the BJP. This is CJI Chief Justice of India, Mr. Chandrachud's remarks. So while Uddhav Thackeray can claim moral victory, the fact of the matter is the political crisis in Maharashtra has thankfully come to closure, which was much needed. Eknath Shinde continues as the bona fide Chief Minister. देवेंद्र फडणवीस continues as the Deputy CM. बाकी जो एनसीपी के, कांग्रेस के, उद्धव ठाकरे के जो गिने चुने एमएलए बचे हैं, आप मॉरल विक्ट्री के साथ खुश रहिए. सरकार में हम सत्ता में हैं, हम सरकार चलाएंगे. महाराष्ट्र की जनता की सेवा में उनको जो चाहिए, we will bring the deliverables on the table. Thank you very much.
संजय जी, मॉरल विक्ट्री रह गई, सत्ता चली गई.
देखिए, मोरल विक्ट्री की बात तो यह है कि उद्धव जी ने जो अपना रिजाइन दिया था, वो अपने पुराने साथियों को वापस फिर से लाने के लिए रिजाइन दिया था, और ताकि वो जो भी बात चाहते थे, जो भी कुछ कहना चाहते थे, करवाना चाहते थे, वो करने के लिए तैयार थे. मगर जिस तरह से आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट का वर्डिक्ट आया, जिस तरह से सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अपने रिमार्क्स दिए और जिस तरह से कुछ मामला को रेफर किया.
सर एक सेकेंड, अगर आप अपने पुराने साथियों को वापस लाना चाहते हो तो आप फ्लोर टेस्ट फेस करो ना, तब पुराने साथी आएंगे और उनकी पोल खोल हो जाएगी. फ्लोर टेस्ट ना फेस करके पुराने साथियों को वापस कैसे ला रहे हैं आप?
देखिए, उनकी जो डिमांड थी वो यही थी कि कांग्रेस एनसीपी के गठबंधन से वापस आए और हम बीजेपी के साथ अपना अलायंस करें. तो इस चीज सबके लिए उद्धव जी ने कहा तो था कि आप आइए, बैठिए, आप जो भी चाहते हैं हम करने के लिए तैयार हैं. और
सर, पर बैठना ड्राइंग रूम में नहीं होता ना, बैठना तो असेंबली में होता है कि आप बोलिए अपने विधायकों को कि भाई आप आओ.
पार्टी के अंदर किसी भी तरह का मतभेद है, पार्टी के लीडरान के अंदर किसी भी तरह का मतभेद है, कोई बात है, तो पार्टी के अंदर बैठ के ही तो होगा, अपने चीफ के साथ बैठ करके, कहीं और जाकर के थोड़ी ना होगा. और अभी मैं जो एक बात कह रहा था, आपने पद्मजा उसको पूरा नहीं होने दिया. जिस तरह से माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय ने जो वर्डिक्ट सुनाया और जिस तरह से कुछ मामलातों को रेफर किया और जिस तरह से कुछ मामलातों पर टिप्पणियां की, इसको कहते हैं अपनी डिस्क्रिशनरी पावर का इस्तेमाल करते हुए किसी तरह का डिसीजन देना. सरकारें हो, अदालतें हो,
वो तो हम सब मान रहे हैं, वो तो ऑब्वियसली चीफ जस्टिस ने बोला है, उसमें तो पीछे हटा ही नहीं जा सकता. द पॉइंट इज कि हाँ ठीक है, आज आपका मोरालिटी में अपर हैंड है. इट इज गुड मोरालिटी बट बैड पॉलिटिक्स, मिस्टर पंकज शर्मा. गुड मोरालिटी, बैड पॉलिटिक्स, एंड नाउ इट्स अ एज ऑफ कट थ्रोट पॉलिटिक्स. सो ग्रेट, आप सज्जन पुरुष हो पर आप नेता बहुत अच्छे नहीं हो.
मुझसे कह रही हो, किसी और से कह रही हो?
पंकज जी से कह रही हो. मिस्टर शर्मा, गो ऑन.
आप बात पूरी हो सकती है.
Disgusting that BJP and Shiv Sena spokespersons are not hesitating in twisting the verdict of the Constitution bench, which was headed by Chief Justice himself. You know, the judgment clearly has said that governor's decision to order floor test was illegal. What would be more underhanded that rather than resigning after this verdict, Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis are, showing their insolence and arrogance by thrusting their sophistry at the people of this nation. There is a specific and definitive reminder in Supreme Court's verdict that Maharashtra government has no ethical right to remain in power even for a minute.
You are twisting the
What did the judges say? What did the judges say? What did the judges say, Sanju ji? They said that had Mr. Thackeray refrained from resigning from the post of the Chief Minister, this court would have considered.
Sanju Verma, insolence and arrogance.
Reinstating the government headed by him. What does it mean?
What does it mean, Sanju Verma?
For a technical reason, Thackeray must be reinstalled without any delay.
Okay, you are hinging on technicalities. I'm asking a question. You're hinging on technicalities, Sanju Verma, where the Supreme Court has been very clear that the actions of the Speaker were wrong, the action of the Governor was wrong.
Let me be very clear, Padmaja. I am not somebody who indulges in obfuscation. On the 29th of June, 2022, the two-judge bench of the Supreme Court, led by Justice Suryakant and Justice Pardiwala, I will remind Mr. Sharma what they said. Uddhav Thackeray had filed a petition on June 26, 2022 saying, please floor test पर आप सुनवाई करिए और floor test पर रुकवा दीजिए. The two-judge bench on 29th June 2022 said, we are not staying the floor test. Uddhav Thackeray must face the floor test. But what did Uddhav Thackeray do? The floor test was supposed to happen on 30th June 2022. But on 29th June at 7 p.m. in the evening, via a Facebook, the Chief Minister resigned. Uddhav Thackeray resigned on 29th June despite the Supreme Court asking him to face a floor test. तो यहाँ भगत सिंह कोश्यारी की बात ही नहीं है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उद्धव ठाकरे को फ्लोर टेस्ट का सामना करने का आदेश दिया.
Ma'am, he is saying today, Uddhav Thackeray, that why should I face up to people who backstabbed me? And the action of the speaker and the action of the governor have been called out by court. Respond to that.
Let me answer that, Padmaja. Let me answer that. आज जितने मॉरल विक्ट्री के ठेकेदार हैं, आप अपनी पीठ थपथपा सकते हो. क्या भगत सिंह कोश्यारी को क्रिटिसाइज किया? जी हाँ. बट एकनाथ शिंदे क्या सीएम रहेंगे या नहीं? सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है एकनाथ शिंदे सीएम रहेंगे.
Okay, Mr. Sharma, quickly respond. I want to bring in Varun Singh because there's a larger point here as well. The nub is that Eknath Shinde will be the CM. Everything else is a sideshow, Mr. Sharma.
See, if someone believes in this, that there should not be any morality in politics, then what can one say? This is very funny when Sanju Verma ji says that अपनी morality अपने पास रखिए, सरकार को हम चलाएंगे. If this is the fundamental basic philosophy of BJP, then what can we say?
2022. Why did Uddhav Thackeray not face the floor test? इसका जवाब दीजिए.
Okay. Morality versus hard-nosed politics, and here is the larger point, Varun Singh. Fine, today the BJP and Mr. Shinde will say, हाँ हम सरकार में हैं. But in the larger scheme of things, will this not divert the people's sympathy towards Uddhav Thackeray as a man who was backstabbed and wronged?
Because the mandate for Maharashtra was won by Devendra Fadnavis.
Okay, just coming back to you, Ms. Sharma, just hold on a second. Let Varun Singh speak. Varun Singh, will this get public sympathy to Uddhav Thackeray?
Okay. Thank you, Padmaja. To answer this question, I don't think there's any sympathy that Uddhav Thackeray will get from this particular move. Instead, it has shown the politics that Uddhav Thackeray follows and his political acumen. He has been accused of not being approachable, not meeting any people, and today's judgment has actually stamped that particular thing. Because he says that he took the decision of resigning from the post of Chief Minister on moral grounds. He should have consulted his own leaders. He should have consulted NCP. He should have consulted leaders from the Congress, because he was not the CM by Shiv Sena. He was the CM of NVA. But he did this decision. He took this decision on his own. And this is the accusation that all the time during the rebellion, all his leaders were accusing him of. And talking about sympathy, yes, there would be some sympathy in limited pockets of Mumbai. But beyond that, you cannot say that Uddhav Thackeray has sympathy. Because, and also one more thing is very crucial, the governor's decision was criticized, but it wasn't called illegal by the Supreme Court in any way. There is I'm a student of law, you have covered politics for a longer period of time. We know the usage of words are very important over here. The governor was criticized, but his decision wasn't called illegal. It was said relying on a letter or relying on certain things and asking for a floor test can be wrong, a decision, or can be an oversight of the governor, but it wasn't an illegal thing. It is the governor's decision to call for a floor test. Uddhav is now zeroed down. The blame of the MVA government collapse is now zeroed down to Uddhav. Uddhav has lost, is not even in favor of NCP and Congress. Today he met Nitish Kumar. Okay. Nitish Kumar wants to be the PM, and Congress wants to project Rahul Gandhi as the PM. Uddhav Thackeray has got allies in Maharashtra with whom NCP do not want to be because they are their same vote bank. So Uddhav Thackeray, today, if you ask me, he is the weakest politician of all the top politicians in Maharashtra, and it is going to cost him a lot. And if it doesn't mend.
Okay, Sanjay Gupta ji, to put it very bluntly, if somebody has to be blamed for you losing out of government, it is Mr. Thackeray. अगर वो नहीं स्टेप डाउन किए होते तो आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला है कि हाँ, आज आप वापस सरकार में हो सकते थे। खुद शरद पवार जी ने बोला है कि उद्धव जी ने लड़ाई ही नहीं लड़ी, अपने खुद के लोगों को मनाने की जगह उन्होंने हथियार डाल दिए। अब आप स्पीकर को बोल दीजिए या आप गवर्नर को बोल दीजिए या किसी और को बोल दीजिए। I'm just going to leave it at that. Thanks very much all gentlemen and Sanju Verma for joining me. Whether this is in the larger scheme of things going to work for the BJP or give that edge to Uddhav Thackeray, we'll be seeing very soon in the municipal elections. For the time being, that's it then from me on this edition of The Nation Wants to Know.